Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Full disclosure, it is so early here. It is before 8 a.m. my time. I'll hopefully post this right around that time. There are noises going on outside of my recording studio because it is early morning, and for about 5 years, I would wake up and record a couple videos, and then I would go to bed, record a couple videos. My entire day revolved around making videos, and it was a very successful venture, but I am way happier now that I don't wake up and record and I don't go to bed and record. I have spent less than half, maybe even like less than 80% of what I used to do now to still keep this channel running, but not care about growing subscribers or views or even revenue. Just care about having some content to give people who want to watch my channel something to view. But when there's breaking news, all bets are off. Shout out to my man Rob and so many others who woke me up with this realization that on the far left, the Valiant Daily Special is so much for $5. It is game-changing compared to the Paragon Daily Special, which gives you things that other than the 7-star shards and the tier 6 class catalyst is pretty much either stuff you can get easily in the daily Valiant crystal, which of course we get 2 of now every day, but also just stuff that's not that exciting. So interestingly enough, you still keep the tech nexus for that day. So the top crystal of the Paragon Daily Special you still get. It's kind of like a bonus throw-in. But what's really fascinating to me is that instead of the tier 6 class catalyst of that day, it's a selector that you can use for any day. So if you were to buy this 7 days in a row, instead of the Paragon, which gives you that specific class only, you get to choose the same class every day. So if you were to buy 7 of these, that would be 35% of a tier 6 class catalyst. Selector 4, of course, 35 American dollars plus applicable taxes and everything else. That is a very interesting change in the business model of the Daily Special. It is double the 7-star shards from 250 to 500. You still get 2 ISO, and you get a Valiant stamp. It is a double hot pink stamp. And before we look at what that Valiant stamp can get you, it's important to note that when I go to the online store, because now in this game, of course, it is also about checking the online store, which has been bugged for me. Like you can see I'm logged in, but it still says log in. Alright, you get the Superior Mythic Crystal, the Paragon Crystal. Now, the Superior Mythic Crystal is, I believe, the crystal we saw on Valentine's Day week. They introduced it. So you get that instead of the tech one. I think, is it just a generic one? It's a generic Paragon Crystal and a generic Superior Mythic. So the class part of this is not tied to the website. It's always the same thing, I think. But how about this, too? Doubling the percent of tier 6 from 5 to 10. That is a big jump in value. That's 2 days worth of the in-game store in 1 day if you go through the Kabam website, which is very fascinating. Same amount of 7-star shards. So the Superior Mythic Crystal and the Paragon Crystal is obviously very different than the Nexus, but you're probably going to get a 4-star out of that. So I wouldn't call that necessarily a huge deal. I will be purchasing my first ever Valiant special tonight on the broadcast just to see how it treats us. But let's say I purchase 7 days worth. What am I going to get for 7 days worth of. I do think I just showed you that the value is better on the online store for that superior crystal. And that Paragon Tech, 1.5% for a 7-star. 1.5% for a 7-star and 12% for a 6-star. But this one is the class-specific one. And again, you get a regular Paragon crystal for the online site, and you upgrade the Nexus to a superior mythic, which I still think should be called a Valiant crystal. I don't know why they went away from the progression title, but kabam is kabam. Okay, as promised, let's discuss this. Now, remember the Paragon stamp card, which used to be game-changing, oh wow, has been buffed as 50 6-star 6 stones for that thing. That's a huge value. 4 10% tier 6 class catalyst fragment crystals. If those were selectors, that would be different. 45,000 tier 3 alpha catalyst fragments, 57,000 tier 6 basic. So that is a fully formed tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic every $35. And then the 20,000 6-star shards is actually the least amount of buff. But the 6 stones, I mean, that's crazy. That's worth it by itself. So if you're looking to use your Paragon stamp card, the 6 stones are a great decision, because we're about to look at the Valiant card, of which you don't have 6 stones, because Valiant players, you've got a good chunk of 7-star shards, 3750. Kind of a random number in some ways, but 3750 times 4 is 15,000. So it's 25% of a 7-star. So if you were to get this every day, which I would not recommend, because that would be another $150 or more per month, you get a bonus 7-star to open. Now, if you were to get this every day, you'd also get over 17,000 tier 4 alpha catalyst fragments because of that. And then, I think one of the most intriguing parts of this, you get a 100% tier 6 class catalyst selector if you get the same class, or you can choose 2 different classes, and I think that's where the value is for the Daily Valiant. Not tier 4 alpha, which is a very small amount of catalyst fragments, not 7-star shards, which is still a gamble. And the Titan Crystal shards, I mean, I think this should be 2,000 Titan Crystal shards. They're pricing this like it's 15,000 7-star Titan Crystal shards, not 20,000, and that is a huge mistake, I think. But yeah, let's just say that the 2 50% tier 6 class catalyst fragment selectors, and for the Paragon, the 50 6 stones. That's the value now. I guess I should pull up the Thronebreaker just to see if that has been majorly buffed. Same 6-star shards as the old Paragon. So basically, the Thronebreaker is now Paragon. 25 6-star 6 stones, and then and there's only 3. But man, that Paragon, I love me some generic 6-star 6 stones. Love them. 50 for $35 as a bonus. Love it. Love it. So obviously, the economy of the game has changed forever. Take a shot. We're starting off with the memeable, gifable channel phrase this week. Happy Monday.